one challenge that I would say I'm experiencing, I experienced it some in the beginning, but we're experiencing right now, is that speaking of outdated laws, the US, the alcohol industry operates in three tiers. So there's the producer tier, so the people actually creating the alcohol. There's the distributor tier, so the people who ship it from the producers to the liquor stores. And then liquor stores, bars, and restaurants, they're the third tier. So like the actual consumer facing tier. And you can't operate in more than one tier legally. And so and sorry if any lawyers are listening to this and are like, Bridgette, you butchered that, but that is the way that I'm currently capable of explaining it. And where that becomes really critical is that in order for me or for Harridan to get to the customer, I completely rely on that third tier. So on the bars, the restaurants, and the liquor store owners. But if our brand and the way we're positioning ourselves that we're excited about is like, we're an angry feminist brand, we're the spirit of defiance, we're for anyone who's been overlooked or underestimated, our spiel, if the liquor store owner is a man who that message does not resonate with at all, we're going to be completely tossed to the wayside. And they're like, I don't understand where your brand is coming from. We're not going to put you in our store. And there's no way that we can get to the customer outside of that liquor store owner. And what I increasingly am like, oh my gosh, the world needs more of these. We just need more female, some more minority business owners, because if there's only one perspective controlling what reaches the customer right now, and that has to change, because it's just a filter that shouldn't exist.
Well, it's also probably because most liquor store owners are probably men. Like, I'm just assuming off from
exactly
the liquor stores I go to, I mainly see men that are kind of working there and, owning it. So if that's the case, then a lot of things that they will carry resonate to them specifically. And so then as a consumer, when I walk into a liquor store and I only have those options, of course I'm going to buy them. Like, I'm not going to, be like, oh, I don't see what I want, I'm leaving. Like, I'm going to buy the one that they carry. So I get it then in their head, they're like, oh, well, see, people want this. They don't want like a feminist drink, but it's like, no, you're just not carrying it. So it's like that disconnect.
Yes.
It's like, it's a disconnect from like the liquor store owners being mainly men and only carrying things that really resonate with them, and not understanding that that's not necessarily what their audience wants. It's just what they have to have because that's all you carry.
Oh my gosh. And it's so, and what really, you phrased that all so perfectly. And where it really became obvious to me was this past week, I had a woman reach out to me. She's opening a liquor store in upstate New York, and she's so excited. And part of the application is you have to say brands that your store is going to carry that nearby liquor stores don't carry, which makes sense. They're like, why is your liquor store going to be different? And so she reached out to me and she was like, can I put you on our application that will carry you? And one, I was like, oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm so honored that you reached out. Second, I got on the phone with her and she expressed this vision. She was like, when you walk into my liquor store, I want to have shelves that are like woman-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. And I want to be able to tell my consumers who they're supporting and really communicate this brand story. And I just had this moment, I was like, this is why more women need to be in charge, is because like, it's just, there's so much more thoughtfulness into being like, we should be communicating how our community can support underrepresented brands, because the current people in charge, the current power structure is not doing that well, and it needs to change.